The purpose of my project was to test various types of ground meat for the presence of antibiotic-resistant E. coli. So we tested turkey, pork, chicken, and beef. We also tested some organic options, as farmers aren't allowed to give antibiotics to those animals when they're in an organic farm. So we just would compare the two. We used two different methods of testing for this antibiotic-resistant E. coli. We used a Kirby-Bauer disc diffusion test. So basically we would culture our bacteria or E. coli onto a TSA plate and grow it up and then put in discs like you can see here. And then we could look for the inhibition of growth using those antibiotics. And then from that, we went on to use another method called a polymerase chain reaction, or PCR. And we were able to use primers according to these antibiotics that were or weren't working for our PCR. And what PCR is, it allows us to amplify a certain part of DNA and look for these antibiotic-resistant genes. So what we did by using this was develop a rapid method of detection for antibiotic-resistant E. coli. So it could be used in human medicine as well. So with a typical culture and sensitivity test, you have to wait 24 to 48 hours to see what antibiotics you can prescribe or if there's a resistance to a certain antibiotic. But by using a PCR, it only takes 3 hours, and you're able to rule out all the antibiotics that aren't working. So if someone's in dire need of these antibiotics, we're able to use them and figure out what they need right away. As we tested beef, pork, chicken, and turkey, we were finding different levels of E. coli in all the different meat samples, but we actually found that 10 out of the 10 meat samples contained E. coli for both turkey and chicken. So I'm wondering if there might be a correlation between antibiotic-resistant E. coli in poultry. And I actually wanted to do further research, and we found out that farmers are allowed to give antibiotics before these chickens or turkeys have even hatched, so they're allowed to inject it right into the egg. So even if these animals are on an organic farm, it's already into their system before they've been born. And actually they're putting the regulations in place come May that no longer allow farmers to do that, so that's something we're really happy about.